Day School. Welcome.
Thank you. Oh. Some sound coming out there, huh? To make my voice higher. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for having us. We're very happy to be here. This is our favorite show to do, Midsummer Night's Dream. And yes, you are all invited to come to the park this summer. We're doing Two Gentlemen of Verona, and that'll be August 11th through the 21st at Thorndon Park in the amphitheater. It's absolutely free. Bring your family, bring your friends, picnics. We have a kids area. If you can't stand watching the show after about 5 or 10 minutes and you're of an age where you can't concentrate long enough, that's fine. We have a kids area where you can play. We have bubbles and balls and stuff, so it's a real family-friendly atmosphere. So you're invited to come see that. And we're doing it in 1870s Western style, so it's going to be very different than the typical Shakespearean production. It's a great pleasure to be here, and you're going to see me throughout this. I'm going to be sort of going throughout the audience and sitting in empty seats and sitting next to you, so don't get scared if you find me next to you. Say, what is he doing next to me? I'm the narrator in this, okay? And I know you all know what a narrator is, right? So, that's it. We're just going to go on with the show and sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Good morning, and welcome to the world of William Shakespeare. Born the son of a glovemaker in the rural village of Stratford-upon-Avon in 1564, he went on to become the greatest and most enduring writer of the English language ever. Shakespeare wrote 37 plays, 154 sonnets, and 2 long-form epic poems. Today we focus on one of his greatest and most performed comedies, A Midsummer Night's Dream, written around 1596, a bit less than halfway through his canon of plays. Shakespeare wrote about plain folk and royalty and had to please both audiences. The plain folk were standing in front of the actors and were known to throw ripe fruit at those they didn't like. The royalty were in the boxes and were the sponsors of the acting companies. Without their approval and sponsorship, theaters couldn't exist. Even with their approval, fires and the bubonic plague sometimes closed theaters for years at a time. Actors were not the stars then as they are today. In today's production, we encounter a fantasy of common folks and fairies who blur the boundary between the real and the surreal world. Identity is created and transformed throughout the entire show. In our first scene, listen for the prose, that's non-poetic language, not in verse like a rap, of the simple tradespeople: Quince, the carpenter; Snug, the joiner; Bottom, the weaver; Flute, the bellows mender; and Snout, the tinker. Even their names sound funny, don't you think?
Is all our company here?
You were best to call them generally, man by man, according to the script.
Here is the scroll of every man's name, which is thought fit through all Athens to play in our interlude before the Duke and Duchess on his wedding day at night.
First, good, Peter Quince. Say what the play treats of. Then read the names of the actors, and so grow to a point.
Mary, our play is the most lamentable comedy and most cruel death of Pyrrhus and Thisbe.
A very good piece of work, I assure you, and a merry. Now, good Peter Quince, call forth your actors.
Answer as I call you. Nick Bottom, the weaver.
Ready. Name what part I am for and proceed.
Nick Bottom, you are set down for Pyramus.
What is Pyramus? A lover, Or a tyrant?
A lover that kills himself most gallantly for love.
That will ask for some tears in the true performing of it. If I do it, let the audience look to their eyes. I will move storms. I will condole in some measure to the rest. And yet, my chief humor is for a tyrant. I could play Heracles rarely, or a part to tear a cat in, to make all splits. Raging rocks and shivering shocks shall break the locks of prison gates, and Phoebus' car shall shine from far and make and mar the foolish fate. This was lofty. Now, name the rest of the players. This was Heracles' vein, a tyrant's vein. A lover is more condolent.
Francis Flute, the bellows bender.
Here, Peter Quince.
You, Flute, must take Thisbe on.
Oh, what is Thisbe? A wandering knight?
It is the lady that Pyramus must love.
Nay, stop me play a woman. I've got a beard coming.
That's all. You shall play it in a mask, and you may speak as small as you will.
And I may hide my face. Let me play Thisbe too. I will speak in a monstrous little voice. Oh yes, Pyramus.
Oh, Thisbe, my lover dear.
No. You must play Pyramus, and Flute, you Thisbe.
Well, proceed.
Tom Snout the tinker.
Here, Peter Quince.
You Pyramus' father. Myself, Thisbe's father. Snug the joiner, you the lion's part, and I hope here is a play fitted.
Have you the lion's part written? Pray, if it be, give it me, for I am slow of study.
You may do it extemporary, for it's nothing but roaring.
Let me play the lion too? I will roar you that I will do any man's heart good to hear me roar. Now I will roar you that I will make the Duke say, "Let him roar again! Let him roar again!"
And you should do it too terribly, that you would fright the Duchess and the ladies, that they would shriek, and that were enough to hang us all.
That would hang us, every mother's son.
I grant you, friends, if we should fright the ladies out of their wits, they would have no more discretion but to hang us. But I will aggravate my voice, so that I will roar you as gentle as any sucking dove. I will roar you, and 'twere any nightingale. Ooh.
You can play no part but Pyramus. For Pyramus is a sweet-faced man, a proper man, as one shall see in a summer's day, a most lovely, gentleman-like man. Therefore, you must needs play Pyramus.
All right. I will undertake it. What beard were I best to play it in?
Why, what you will.
I can discharge it in either your straw-colored beard, or your orange tawny beard, or your purple and grain beard, or your French crown color beard, your perfect yellow.
Some of your French crowns have no hair at all. Then you will play it barefaced. But masters, here are your parts. And I am to entreat you, request you, and desire you to crown your parts by tomorrow night and meet me in the palace wood. There will we rehearse. In the meantime, I will draw a bill of properties such as our play wants. I pray you, Fail me not.
There we will meet, and there we may rehearse, most obscenely and courageously. Take pains.
At the Deuce Oak we meet.
Perfect. Enough words. Go away.
The king doth keep his revels here tonight. The king.
From the world of the mundane mechanicals, we move to the king and queen of the fairies and their invisible servants. Listen how their smooth and natural poetry defines their character. In many productions, Puck appears on stage. We chose to keep her invisible as an offstage voice. What problems do you think that presents for the characters who must relate to her? How is the story affected by Puck being invisible? Let's see how it plays out.
Doth keep his revels here tonight. Take heed the queen come not within his sight, for Oberon is passing fell and wrath, because that she, as her attendant, hath a lovely boy stolen from an Indian king. She never had so sweet a changeling, and jealous Oberon would have the child, knight of his train, to trace the forests wild. But she perforce withholds the loved boy, crowns him with flowers, and makes him all her joy. But room, here comes Oberon, and the mistress.
Ill met by moonlight, proud Titania.
What? Jealous, Oberon? Fairies, skip hence. I have forsworn his bed and his company.
Tarry, rash wanton. Am not I thy lord?
Then I must be thy lady. But I know when thou hast stolen away from fairyland, and in the shape of Corin sat all day, playing on pipes of corn and versing love to amorous Phillida. Why art thou here, come from the farthest steep of India, but that, forsooth, the bouncing Amazon, thy buskined mistress, and thy warrior love to Theseus must be wedded, and you come to give their bed joy and prosperity?
How canst thou thus for shame, Titania? Glance at my credit with Hippolyta, knowing I know thy love to Theseus. Dost not thou lead him through the glimmering night, from Perigenia whom he ravished, and make him with fair Egil break his faith with Ariadne and Antiopa?
These are the forgeries of jealousy.
You will mend it then? It lies in you. Why should Titania cross her Oberon? I do but beg a little changeling boy to be my henchman.
Set your heart at rest. The fairyland buys not the child of me. His mother was a votress of my order, and in the spiced Indian air by night full often hath she gossiped by my side. But she being mortal of that boy did die. So for her sake do I rear up her boy, and for her sake I'll not part with him.
How long within this wood intend you stay?
Perchance till after Theseus' wedding day.
Give me that boy, and I will go with thee.
Not for thy fairy kingdom. Fairies away. We shall chide downright if I longer stay.
Well, go thy way. Thou shalt not from this grove till I torment thee for this injury. My gentle Puck, come hither, thou rememberest. Since once I sat upon a promontory and showed thee a flower, the juice of which, on sleeping eyelids laid, will make or man or woman madly dote upon the next live creature that it sees. Fetch me this herb, and be thou here again ere the Leviathan can swim a league.
I'll put a girdle round about the earth in 40 minutes.
Having once this juice, I'll watch Titania when she is asleep, and drop the liquor of it in her eyes. The next thing that she waking looks upon, be it lion, bear, or wolf, or bull, on meddling monkey, or on busy ape, she shall pursue it with the soul of love. And ere I take this charm from off her sight, as I can take it with another herb, I'll make her render up her page to me. I know a bank where the wild tide blows, where oxlips and the nodding violet grow, quite over-canopied with luscious woodbine, with sweet musk roses, and with eglantine. There sleeps Titania, some time of the night, lulled in these flowers with dances and delight, and there the snake throws her enameled skin weed wide enough to wrap a fairy in. And with the juice of this, I'll streak her eyes and make her full of hateful fantasies. Take thou some of it and seek through this grove, and look thou meet me at the first cock crow.
Fear not, my lord, your servant shall do so.
The next scene sets up the comedy to come. Puck brings Oberon a love potion that makes Titania fall in love with the first person or thing she sees. And they have prepared a small surprise for Titania when she awakes. Can you imagine who or what you might fall in love with if someone put a love potion on your eyes?
Come. Now a roundel and a fairy song. Sing me now asleep. Then to your offices. Let me rest.
What thou seest when thou dost wake, do it for thy true love take. Love and languish for his sake, be it ounce or cat or bear, pard or boar with bristled hair, in thy eye that shall appear when thou wakest, it is thy dear. Wake when some vile thing is near.
A stranger Pyramus than e'er played here. What hempen homespuns have we
And now these two worlds collide in the woods when the mechanicals meet the fairies and encounter an enchantment put on one of their own. What is Shakespeare saying about the nature of friendship and love in the fantasy world and the real world? See if you can figure it out in the next two scenes.
Are we all that?
Here is a marvelous convenient place for our rehearsal. This stage shall be our stage. This Hawthorne break, our Tyrene house, and we will do it in action, as we will do it before the Duke.
Peter Quince!
What sayest thou, bully bottom?
There are things in this comedy of Pyramus and Thisbe that will never please. First, Pyramus must draw a sword to kill himself, which the ladies cannot abide. How answer you that?
By your liking upon a sphere. I believe you must leave the killing out when all is done.
No, none of it. I have a device to make all well. Now, write me a prologue. And let the prologue seem to say that we will do no harm with our swords, and that Pyramus is not killed indeed. Ooh, and for the more better assurance, tell them that I, Pyramus, am not Pyramus, but Bottom the Weaver. This will put them out of fear.
Well, We shall have such a prologue, and it shall be written in 8 and 6.
No, make it 2 more. Let it be written in 8 and 8.
Will not the ladies be afeard of the lion?
I fear it. I promise you.
Oh, masters, you ought to consider with yourselves. To bring in, God shield us, a lion among ladies is a most dreadful thing, for there is not a more fearsome wildfowl than your lion living, and we ought to look to it.
Therefore, another prologue must tell he is not a lion.
No. You must name his name, okay? And half his face must be seen through the lion's neck, and he himself must speak through, saying thus, or to the same defect, ladies, or fair ladies, or sweet ladies, I would request you, I would desire you, I would entreat you not to tremble, not to fear my life for yours. If you think I come hither in this place as a lion, it were pity on my life. I am no such thing. I am a man, as other men are. And then let him name his name, and tell them plainly, here's Snug the Joiner.
Well, it shall be so. But there's 2 hard things. That is to bring the moonlight into a chamber, for you know, Pyramus and Thisbe meet by moonlight.
Doth the moon shine that night we play our play?
Look in the almanac. Find out moonshine. Find out moonshine.
Yes, it doth shine that night.
Okay, well, then you may leave a casement at the great chamber window where we play our play open, and the moon may shine in at the casement.
We must have a wall in the great chamber, for Pyramus and Thisbe says the story did talk through the chink of a wall.
You can never bring in a wall. What say you, Barb?
Some man or other must present wall. Huh? Whoa! And let him have some plaster or some loam or some rough cast about him to signify wall. And let him hold his fingers thus, and through that cranny shall the lovers Pyramus and Thisbe whisper.
Well, that may be. Then all is well. Come, every mother's son, and rehearse your parts. Pyramus, you begin when you have spoken your part. Go into the break, and so everyone according to his cue.
What hempen homespuns have we swaggering here, so near the cradle of the fairy queen? What a play toward! I'll be an auditor, and actor too, perhaps, if I see cause.
Speak! Pyramus! Thisbe, stand for.
Thisbe! The flowers of odious savors sweet. Odors, savors sweet. So hath my love, my dearest Thisbe dear. Stay thou but here a while, and by I will to thee appear. Must I speak now?
Marry, must you. For you must understand, he goes but to see a noise that he heard, and is to come again.
Most radiant.
Most radiant. Thisbe.
Most
radiant. Most radiant.
Grace, lily white of you, of color like the red rose on a triumphant briar, most richly jubilee, whose love in you, as true as truth holds, that would never tire. I'll feed thee, Pyramus, at lily's true.
Nine is two men. Well, you must not say that yet. Yet you answer to Pyramus. You speak all your part at once, cues and all. Pyramus, enter. Your cue hath passed. It is never tired.
Oh, as true as truest holds, that would never tire.
If I were fair Thisbe, I were only there!
Monstrous! Oh, strange! We are haunted. Pray, masters, fly, masters, run!
Lead you about around.
Why did they run away? This is a knavery of them to make me afeard. Huh?
Oh, by the mountain, what do I see on thee?
What do you see? You see an ass's head of your own, do you? Ah.
Oh, bless thee, Martin, bless thee, for thou art translated.
I see their knavery. This is to make an ass of me, to fright me if they could, but I will not stir from this place, do what they can. I will walk up and down here, and I will sing, that they will hear I am not afraid.
The ouzel cock so black of hue, with orange tawny bill, the thrush so with his note so true, the wren with little quill.
What angel wakes me from my flowery bed?
Now finch the sparrow and the lark, the plain song cuckoo gray, whose note full many a man doth mark and dares not answer nay.
Indeed. Who would set his wit to so foolish a bird? Who would give a bird the lie, though he cried cuckoo never so?
I pray thee, gentle mortal, sing again, for mine ear is much enamored of thy note. So is mine eye enthralled to thy shape, and thy fair virtues perforce doth move me on the first view to swear I love thee.
Methinks, mistress, you should have little reason for that. And yet to speak the truth, reason and love keep little company together nowadays. But the more the pity that some honest neighbors cannot make them friends. Hey, I can gleek upon occasion.
Oh, thou art wise as thou art beautiful.
Not so neither. But if I have wit enough to serve mine own turn, I have enough to get out of this wood.
Nay, out of this wood do not desire to go.
Oh.
Thou shalt remain here, whether thou wilt or no.
Oh.
I am a spirit of no common rate. The summer still doth tend upon my state, and I do love thee. Therefore go with me, and I'll fetch thee jewels from the deep, and sing while thou on pressed flowers dost sleep, and I shall purge thy mortal grossness so that thou shalt like an airy spirit go, to have my love to bed and to arise, and pluck the wings from painted butterflies, and fan the moonbeams from thy sleeping eyes. Nod to him, elves, do him courtesies. I will lead thee to my bower. The moon, methinks, looks with a watery eye, and when she weeps, weeps every little flower, lamenting some enforced chastity.
Oberon, king of the fairies, had the power to put Titania into this crazy circumstance, and he has the power to bring her out of it. Why does Oberon want her to be herself again? What poetic clues can you find that he really loves her?
I wonder if Titania be awaked, and then what it was that next came in her eye which she must dote on in extremity. Here comes my messenger. How now, mad spirit, what night rule now about this haunted grove?
My mistress with a monster is in love.
Near to her close and consecrated bower, while she was in her dull and sleeping hour, a crew of patches, rude mechanicals that work for bread upon Athenian stalls, when I did him at this advantage take, an ass's nowl I fixed on one's head. So it came to pass, Titania waked, and straightway loved an ass.
Your mistress with a monster is in love? Oh, this falls out better than I could devise.
Come, sit thee down upon this flowery bed, while I thy amiable cheeks do coy, and stick musk roses in thy sleek smooth head, and kiss thy fair large ears, my gentle joy.
Scratch my head. Oh, I must in a barber, monsieur, for methinks I am marvelous hairy about the face. And I am such a tender ass. If my head do tickle me, I must scratch.
Or say, sweet love, what thou desirest to eat.
Truly, a peck of provender, I could munch your good dry oats. Methinks I have a great desire for a bottle of hey, sweet hey, good hey. Hath no fellow.
I have a venturous fairy who shall seek the squirrel's hoard and fetch thee new nuts.
I would rather have a handful of 2 dried peas, but I pray you, let none of your people stir me, for methinks I have an exposition of sleep come upon me.
Sleep thou, and I will wind thee in my arms. Fairies, be gone, be always away. So doth the woodbine the sweet honeysuckle gently entwist. The female ivy so enrings the barky fingers of the elm. Oh, how I love thee, how I dote on thee.
Seest thou this sweet sight? Her dotage now I do begin to pity. And now I have the boy, I will undo this hateful imperfection of her eyes, that he awaking will back to Athens, all again repair, and think no more of this night's accidents, but as the fierce vexation of a dream. But first, I will release the fairy queen. Beest thou wast wont to be, see as thou wast wont to see. Dian's bud or Cupid's flower hath such force and blessed power. Now, Titania, wake you, my sweet queen.
My Oberon, what visions have I seen? Methought I was enamored of an ass.
There lies your love.
How came these things to pass? I can behold his visage now.
Silence a while, Titania, music call.
Come, my lord, and in our flight, tell me how it came this night that I sleeping here was found with this mortal on the ground.
Shakespeare brings the mechanicals into the next scene so they can get ready to perform their play for the Duke, Theseus. What's the purpose of getting these characters back together again? How is this scene similar to the one where Oberon and Titania are reunited? How is it different?
Have you sent to Bottom's house? Has he come home yet?
He cannot be heard of. Out of doubt, he is transported.
If he come not to play be marred, it goes not forward, doth it?
It is not possible. You have not a man in all Athens able to discharge Pyramus, but he.
No, he is simply the best wit of any handicraft man in Athens.
Masters! Oh, masters! The Duke is coming from the temple, and there are some 2 or 3 lords and ladies more married. If our sport had gone forward, we had all been made men.
Ah, sweet bully Bottom! Thus had he lost 6 pence a day during his life, he could not escape 6 pence a day. And the Duke had not given him 6 pence a day for playing Pyramus. I'll be hanged. He would have deserved it. 6 pence a day in Pyramus or nothing. What are these lads? What are
Bottom! Oh, most glorious day! Most happy hour!
Masters, I am to discourse wonders, but ask me not what, for if I tell you, I am no true Athenian. Now I will tell you everything, right as it fell out.
Let us hear, sweet Bottom.
Now, all I will tell you is that the Duke hath dined. Now, get your apparel together. New strings to your beards, new ribbons for your pumps, and let every man look over his part, for the long and the short is, our play is preferred. And, most dear actors, let us eat no onions nor garlic, for we are to utter sweet breath, and I have no doubt but to hear them say it is a most sweet comedy. No more words. Go away! Go away!
This scene contains one of Shakespeare's favorite devices known as a play within a play. What's the advantage of showing the audience 2 different sets of characters at the same time? How do Theseus's comments support or contradict what the mechanicals are doing? Listen carefully to find the play within the play as Shakespeare mocks the rules of poetry, himself, and other writers who imitated him.
A play here, my lords. Some 10 words long, which is as brief as I have known a play. But by 10 words, my lords, it is too long, which makes it tedious. For in all the play, there is not 1 word apt, nor 1 player fitted. And tragical, my noble lords, it is. For Pyramus therein doth kill himself, which, when I saw rehearsed, I must confess, made mine eyes water. But more merry tears the passion of loud laughter never shed. Hard-handed men that work in Athens here, which never labored in their minds till now, have now toiled their unbreathed memories with this same play against this nuptial. We will hear that play, for never anything can be amiss when simpleness and duty tender it. Let him approach!
If we offend, it is with our good will that you should think we come not to offend, but with good will. To show our simple skill. That is the true beginning of our end. Consider then, we come but in despite. We do not come as minding to content you. Our true intent is for all your delight. We are not here that you should hear. Repent you! Our actors are at hand, and by their show, you shall know all that you are like to know.
This fellow doth not stand upon points. His speech was like a tangled chain, nothing impaired, but all disordered. Who is next?
Gentles, perhaps you wonder at this show, but wonder on, till truth make all things plain. This man, peerless, if you would know, this beauteous lady Thisbe is certain. This man with lime and rough cast doth present wall, that vile wall which did these lovers sunder, and through wall's chink. Poor souls, they are content to whisper, at the which let no man wonder. This grisly beast, which by name Lion hight, a trusty Thisbe come first by night, did scare away, or rather did affright. As she fled her mantle she did fall, which Lion with vile bloody mouth did stain. Anon comes peerless, sweet youth and tall, finds his trusty Thisbe's mantle slain, whereat with blade, bloody, blameful blade, he bravely broached his boiling bloody breast. And Thisbe, tarrying in mulberry shade, his dagger drew and died. For all the rest let Lion moonshine, while in lovers' train at large discourse, while here they do remain.
I wonder if the lion be to speak. But why not when many asses do?
In this same interlude, it doth befall that I, one Snap by name, present a wall. Such a wall as I would have you think that had in it a cranning hole or chink, through which the lovers, Pyramus and Thisbe, did whisper often very secretly. This loam, this rough cast, and the stone does show that I am that same wall. Truth it so. And this the cranny is, right and sinister, through which the fearful lovers are to whisper.
Could you desire Lyman Hare to speak better? Oh, Pyramus draws near the wall.
Oh, good Lord night! Oh, night, with hue so black! Oh, night, whichever art when day is night! Oh, night! Oh, night! Alack, alack! Alack, alack! I fear my Thisbe's promise is forgot. And thou, O wall, O sweet and lovely wall, that stands between her father's ground and mine. Show me thy chink, that I may blink through with mine eye. Chink. Thanks, courteous wall. Jove shield thee well for this. Ooh, what's the No Thisbe do I see. Oh, wicked wall, through whom I see no bliss. Cursed be thy stones for thus deceiving me!
The wall, methinks, being sensible, should curse again.
No, sir, in faith, he should not. You see, deceiving me is Thisbe's cue. She is to enter now, and I am going to spy her through the hole in the wall. You will see, it will fall pat as I told you. Yonder she comes.
Oh, how often hast thou heard my moan? Oh, pardon my sweet tenderness of me. My cherry lips have kissed thy stones with line and hair meet up in thee.
I see a voice. Now will I to the wall, and I can hear my Thisbe's face. Thisbe!
My love, thou art my love, I think.
Think what thou wilt. I am thy lover's grace. Oh, kiss me through the hole of this vile wall.
I kissed the walls whole, not your lips at all.
Wilt thou at Ninny's tomb meet me straightway?
Oh, time life, time death, I come without delay.
Thus have I war, my part just charted so, and being done, must war where this go.
Now is the mural down that parted the two neighbors. Oh, there comes a noble beast in. A lion and moonshine.
You, ladies, you, whose gentle hearts do fear!
The smallest monstrous mouse that creeps on the floor.
May now, perchance, both quake and tremble here when the lion rough in wildest rage doth roar!
Then know that I, once snug the joiner, am a lion fell, nor else no lion's dam. For if I should, as lion, come in fright into this place, 'twere pity on my life.
A very gentle beast and of good conscience.
This lantern doth the haunted moon present. This lantern doth the haunted moon present. I, the man in the moon, do seem to be.
Proceed, moon.
All I have to say is to tell you that this lantern is the moon. I am the man in the moon. This thorn bush, my thorn bush. This dog, my dog.
Well shown, moon.
This is old Ninny's tomb. Where is my love?
Well roared, lion. Well run, Thisbe. Well moused, lion. And so comes Pyramus.
Sweet moon, I thank thee for thy sunny beams. I thank thee, moon, for shining now so bright. For by thy gracious, golden, glittering gleams, I trust to take of truest Thisbe's sight. But stay, most fight. But mark, poor knight, what dreadful dole is here? Eyes, do you see? How can it be? Oh, dainty duck, oh dear, thy mantle good. What? Stained with blood. Approach, ye furies fell! Come, fates, come, cut thread and thrum. Now, quail, crush, conclude, and quell.
This passion and the death of a dear friend would go near to make a man look sad.
But wherefore, nature, didst thou lions frame? since Lion Vile hath here deflowered my dear, which was the fairest dame that lived, that loved, that liked, that looked with cheer. Come, tears, confound, outsword, and wound that pap of Pyramus. Die that left pap, where heart doth hop. Thus die I. Thus, no. Now am I dead. Now am I fled. My soul is in the sky. Tongue, lose thy light. Moon, take thy flight. Now, die.
With the help of a surgeon, he may yet recover and prove an ass.
Asleep, my love? What? Dead, my dove? Oh, be a surprise! Speak! My dove. Dead. Oh, true! Must come my sweet eyes. Don't live. Jenny, do. Those yellow cowslip cheeks! Oh, God! Oh, sisters three! Oh, come to me, with hands as pale as milk. Lay them in yours, since you have shorn the shears this strength of silk. Don't not wed. Come, trusty soul. Come lay my breast in blue, and farewell, friends. Must this be heavens? Adieu, adieu.
Lion and Moonshine are left to bury the dead. I and Wall too.
No. I assure you, the wall is down at part of their fathers. Now, would it please you to see a Bergamask dance or to hear an epilogue with two of our company?
No epilogue, I pray you, for your play needs no excuse. Never excuse, for when the players are all dead, there need none to be blamed. It would have been a fine tragedy, and so it is, and very notably discharged. But come, your Bergamask, let your epilogue alone.
How does Puck's final speech change how you think about the play as a whole? Listen for the beautiful rhymes and rhythms of Willie the Rapper, hundreds of years ahead of his time, as you enjoy the final words of the show.
Shadows have offended, think but this and all is ended. Have you ever slumbered here, while these visions did appear? And this sweet and idle theme, no more yielding but a dream.
Gentles, do not reprehend. If you call him we will mend. And as I am in modest Puck, if we have unearned luck, proud to escape the serpent's tongue, we will make amends ere long. Else the Puck alive call. So good night to you all. Give your hands, we be friends, and Robin shall restore men.
Thank you very much for coming, and thank you for enjoying the show, and we appreciate your time and attention.
We thank you. It was wonderful. Was there any questions? We have maybe 5 minutes. You want to ask some questions?
You want to ask some questions? Okay. Actors,
They have questions?
actors want to come out for a minute?
Yeah.
You guys have some questions? Yes. Who's got a question now? Okay, here we go.
Is that sound that came out of nowhere, is it Puck?
Yes. The sound that came out of nowhere is Puck, that's correct. Puck is invisible in our production.
How come at the end, everybody from the play bowed, but not the people in like the fantasy part?
Ah,
Okay.
did they?
I saw them about.
Yeah, I think everybody bowed. Yeah. Well,
Some like kindergartners, they probably didn't know that the person who I had was Kiana and Bottom was Oberon.
oh, I see what you mean. Yes, in our production there are 6 actors and the narrator, but the 6 actors, some of them play multiple parts. So you see one actor playing multiple parts. If you played more than one part, raise your hand. Okay. So we have at least 3 actors that played multiple parts. And really, you played multiple parts too, and so did you, right? And so did you, because you played a different part than your original part, because they were all the mechanicals at the beginning. So, and then in the play within the play, they played different parts. Pyramus and Thisbe's father, and the Wall, etc., and Lion, etc. So they all played different parts in a different part of the play. And that's one of the things we tried to point out in the narration, that it's a frequent device of Shakespeare to put a story inside the story. So that's what a play within a play means. It means there's a little story inside the bigger story. And of course, this whole show runs 2 hours and 15 minutes. So we had to cut out a lot of the plot, what actually happens in the play. So you're only getting like a little snapshot of what goes on in the play. So you didn't get everything. You can't do that in 55 minutes. Okay, other questions? Oh, here, hold on. Coming around.
I saw that these little flags on the curtain thing, why were those coming down?
Oh, jeez. That's known as the beauty of live theater, my dear. Those are your microphones, which have nothing to do with our production, so I tried to get them out of the way, and I duct taped them onto the curtain, and some of them came down during the show. So there's another one that I duct taped that didn't come down, so I was successful 1 out of 3. That was a good question. That's what happens in theater when it's live. The difference between going to the theater and going to the movies is the movies, every time you go see it, it's the same thing. It's not going to change. But theater is different. Every single time we do this show, it's different. The reaction of the audience is different. How they do it is different. It's always different. So that's just one of the things that's different. Do we have time for one more? Okay. Who had one? Oh, she took your question.
We got one.
Okay. Got one over here.
I was just wondering, what's that
The cutout?
Yeah, what's that for?
Yeah.
We have the two cutouts. This one is of Shakespeare, and that one is of Queen Elizabeth. And sometimes when we do events, we have people stick their heads in there, like you do sometimes at the state fair. They have those things at the state fair and maybe other carnivals and places you go. Oh, here he goes. See? He's the perfect Queen Elizabeth, no doubt. Thank you, Keith. Oh, and we have another one right here. There's a perfect Shakespeare for you. Thank you for demonstrating. So people put their heads in there and they have their pictures taken. It's just sort of a fun thing to do. And the same person that painted those two cutouts did all our sets. Her name is Joycelyn Ditch. She lives not too far away from here in Syracuse. She's a very good artist. And yeah, so that's what those things are. Who's got another question?
We got time for
One more question. Here we go. You're the last question.
Why was that guy pretending to be a girl?
Hey, Guy, why were you pretending to be a girl?
Well, I didn't want to be, but in Shakespeare's time, the women, the girls, did not play parts. It was all men. And the men played the women's parts.
Well, thank you very much, actors, and Mr. Bell, and technicians, for a wonderful performance.
Thank you. We're getting special stickers.
Thank you. This is way to go.
I was outstanding.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
No one's ever done that before.
All
That's a first.
right, kindergarten, would you like to come in? That's a first. Kindergarten for the actors, is that right?
Sure.
Fine, kindergarten come up.
Yep.
And this is a good
Let's squeeze in here.
I want you